What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the best new podcast, Anything Better, with myself, Paul Virzi, Phil Burr. You guys are listening to episode lucky number 7, which means we're going to be betting. We might be betting on some UFC. What's up, Bill? There's a big UFC card coming up.
Well, tell me about it. I dip in and out of that. I'm a big fan of the sport, but I also, I got to get my beauty rest. It comes on too late at night for me, Paul. It comes on at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. By then, I'm worn out. Worn out with the kids.
I had a friend come over to watch the last fight, and he's like 45
dude,
years
I
old.
paid for that, and I never fucking watched it.
No, I have
Conor McGregor one, right?
Well, yeah, no, they've been doing UFC the whole first quarter of this year. They've been doing like even on their like ESPN Plus. They're just putting out great fights every Saturday night.
I taped one of those.
Yeah.
What killed me? They said they were middleweights, and then they said they were like 175. I'm like, that's not middleweight.
That's the thing about, I don't know what weight is. Like, these guys are like either, I don't know what the weights are. There's like light, heavy. There's heavy. There's like, I never knew what bantamweight meant. But
back in the day, you were either a little shit, a regular size guy, or a heavyweight. There was like only 3 belts to win. Now there's like all of these. It's really inclusive. I'm not really fat, but I'm not skinny either. That's the champion I am.
Yo, I had a friend come over. He's like in his mid-40s with a kid. He slept on my couch for the last 2 fights, and I'm going, yo, dude. I go, yo, they're coming on. And he goes, yeah, give me. He just did, and I was just like, he's not.
Oh, you gotta let somebody sleep.
He slept and snored through 2 fights, and I just literally sat there with my dog and watched him. But this week is that
snoring and fire are the only 2 reasons to wake somebody up. Other than that, you just get somebody sleeping. They're tired. You got to let them do it. Their brain needs it.
If you hear somebody snoring a certain way, you're like, this guy has not slept. Yeah, he needs it. This is
have your wife start snoring. I just do this. I just start moving the bed.
I'm not going to lie.
What's better is you just touch them. They're like, oh, what is that? And then they just roll over.
Can I confess something? I'm going to confess something to you, which I never told you as a friend. But one of the times that I actually got like,
Paul, it's okay if you're gay.
No,
I'm open-minded.
When you shave.
Why would you phrase it as confessing?
No, because I never said it, but I stayed in your room one night, and dude, I thought you were going to scream at me. I was laying it. We were young, dude. We were like, not young, but we were like, it was like when I first.
Young when I knew you. I met you in my mid-30s. I've been an old fuck since you met me.
I think the first time I met you, like, if I was like 20, I might have just turned 27. But one day I showed up to the hotel, and I had no room. My room wasn't ready, and I had not slept. And you saw it. I was like, dude, I'm on like 45 minutes. I was on like 2 planes, and you were like, I'm not going to let you sit here in the thing. So you go like, come up, you could sleep. Dude, I went up to your room, and I guess I was snoring, and I rolled over, and I came to, and I rolled over, and I just heard you going, motherfucker. I think you were just I think I was just keeping you up, which I get.
No, I was flipping out probably about something else. I would have laughed, dude. If you were snoring, I always have earplugs with me. I don't get that mad at snoring.
Okay.
I apologize, dude. Like, what you saw was what it's like to live with me. Is out of nowhere, you just hear me yell a curse word, and you think it's you, or you think there's an axe murderer coming through the window. And what it probably is I'm downloading some new operating system, or or the fucking 24-hour room service. I can't get him to answer.
I just remember being like, oh man, I feel bad. I got to get my own room. Like, I was like, I must be snoring. But then it's funny how you lose weight. You do a little cardio, the snoring goes away. Like Bartnick was saying, he doesn't snore that much anymore since he lost 70 pounds. It's just
sleep apnea. Like, I'm gonna speak as a professional here with no medical background. That's just, you got man tits. Man tits, and when you lay down, they roll up onto your throat, and you're just doing that.
Somebody made fun of me yesterday because I said, because I'm doing good. I promise you this. Next time you see me in person, it'll be the best shape you ever seen.
I'll be the judge, Paul.
Okay.
Paul's one of those guys. He drops 5 pounds. He's like, dude, I look fucking great. I look amazing. And then he's
I'm down 7. I'm down 17 or so right now. And here's the thing.
I respect that, double digits. Sorry.
My friend gave me shit yesterday. I said, right when I get out of bed, I do 25 jumping jacks. I do 25
Jesus.
jumping jacks. I do
Trying to blow
25
out your Achilles?
No, I do 25 jumping jacks right when I get out of bed. And
Is your wife still sleeping?
no, she's already working, but I do jumping jacks, dude. And the dog is just looking at me, look, what's going on? The room is shaking. And then I do 25 push-ups. That's like right when I get out of bed.
Please
And
tell me you stretch before you do this.
Yeah, I stretch. Well, when I do the push-ups, I make sure I stretch.
That's all I needed at that first was the truth. Okay. All right, Paul.
No, the arms. I stretch the arms. Jumping jacks.
The hoof.
Yeah. But apparently jumping jacks is childish, according to my friend, that I'm a kid. He goes, yeah,
really it's childish till you get over 30. Then all of a sudden, I mean, you're doing over 30 of them. Then it becomes man's work.
But no, back to this UFC thing.
You also have a big watch, Paul, too. That's not easy.
No. I it's on the
one of your arms is going to be twice the size of the other.
Dude, my man tits are down, Bill. It feels nice. Now I take my shirt off and I show off in front of Stacy, and I'll just walk into the kitchen and be like, you sleep next to this every day. You know that, right? And that's she just rolls her eyes. Yeah. And then Sophia goes, Dad, put clothes on. I've become my dad. I'm walking around the house in like my underwear. Anyway, I digress. Listen,
you realize how much of a shit talker you are? What are you trying to psych out your own family? Like you're going to drop 40 on them? Put a shirt on, Paul. What are you doing? Fucking stop watching the UFC. You're like standing across the octagon, staring them down. Did you come in the kitchen and start running backwards? You know how they do that shit? They do that little gallop.
Slapping Lucas 5 as he's eating his pancakes. I run around. This kid Izzy is this kid.
Jump up on the kitchen island like you just won the fight, slamming your chest.
I straddle it and start pointing at the neighbors. No, this kid that won, the champion, that Izzy kid, okay, the style bender kid.
Style bender, I like that sound.
He's nasty, and he's he's fighting this big Polish guy that if the Polish guy catches him, it's gonna be night. But he's so good.
I've been to Poland. I can see that. I can picture this guy.
Oh, dude, this Polish guy's got that Polish jaw and the head that looks like if you hit him with a hammer. You don't want to get
slugged in Eastern Europe. It's not going to be good.
No, this Polish kid, you can hit in the head.
Slovak. You start getting into Russians. They just got big meaty hands. You're going down. You're going down to them. And you're going to fall in a cobblestone street too.
He looks like if I punched him in his face. Cobblestone street reminded me of Estonia. He looks like if you punch him as hard as you can in the face, it truly would not faze him. Like this guy looks like, I mean, listen, these guys are nuts. But what I don't like about this kid, and it's actually uncharacteristic of me, I love a head case. I love a shit talker. I'm a shit talker a little myself, but not as much as I think you would say I am. This kid started
a lot of thoughts in there, Paul, but okay.
This kid started break dancing while the guy's like coming to. That he knocked out. So he knocked the guy out. The ref's doing this. And then he starts doing this. And then he starts spinning on his back like a break dancer. Then he gets up and he's doing this. And you literally see the guy, like doctors are on the guy on the ground. And for that reason, I want this Polish guy to put him the fuck to sleep only because of that. But then
you can't get mad at a guy trying to get a contract, I mean, maybe he's not as good at talking shit as Conor McGregor is, so he feels like, but you know what? I know how to dance. You know what he should do? Is every time he knocks somebody out, he should do a different style of dancing. At one point he grabs his coach and he does like one of those, cheek-to-cheek dances.
If they ever did a documentary on his life, he would remember the guy by the dance.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh yeah, that's the fucking breakdance.
You moonwalk. Remember that you did the waltz. Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine, though, like, biggest stand-up show you ever did in your life?
They were all big to me, Paul.
I know. No. Sorry. Maybe.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Not one show comes to mind. They all feel the same.
Maybe about your home. How about your hometown? TD Garden in your hometown? Well, anyway, all right.
Sorry.
No. It's fine.
Paul, I'm a walled-off lunatic. I just go up there and I'm listening to them, and making sure they have a good time so they want to come back. If you want to say the most fun shows, that's
Well,
a
I guess
great
what I'm.
question. What's the biggest one? I feel like I used to do stand-up, dude. I don't even remember.
I know. I
Shit's
know.
fading away. What's the biggest show I did? Probably my last one. My last official one where everybody wasn't wearing masks. I did the Bon Scott thing with Dean Del Rey, 40th anniversary, 30th, let's see, 90th, oh my God, 40 years ago, the 40th anniversary of Bon Scott's death. I got to work with Mark Maron, Dean Del Rey. I'm going back, I forget, but Steve Gorman was on drums. I got to sit in for half a second. I don't remember the song that I played, so.
All right. Well, the point I'm trying to get is whatever your nerves you felt during that, going into an octagon, knowing that you can really literally be put to sleep in front of millions of people around the world, and they'll remember that knockout and ass kicking you got the rest of your life, is more ballsy than fucking anything.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And the worst thing is a bunch of douches who don't even know how to fight will then be like, yeah, you got knocked the fuck out. And those people who their favorite Roy Jones fights are like the two he lost at the end of his career, and they ignore everything that he did up until then.
I hate that. Yeah.
It's like, dude, you need to go home and punch your dad. That's what you need to do. And you got to stop taking it out on these guys. Because, dude, just to know that there's a professional fighter looking at your fight tape, training, and coming up with the strategy to basically do brain damage to you.
Yeah, to look at you.
That's like nauseating.
Yeah, because they'll be like, oh, Burr leads with his left leg and comes with the left. And then they take that away from you. And then,
like Belichick, it's over. And then there's my big pumpkin head just sitting right on a fucking golf tee.
Oh,
waiting to get kicked.
And the way
I would go up and out of the octagon. I might even hit the mezzanine level. My head wasn't so heavy.
Can they do something like in WWE? Can they and this is a serious question. If they're grappling, can a guy just turn a guy and can they do shit like that if they were strong enough?
Like the DDT?
Yeah.
This might be a Rogan question. I don't know what you can do. You can sort of suplex a guy, but you just don't let him. Like if you did I know you can't kick anybody in the head when they're on the ground. You can't punch in the balls. Dude, you should watch like the original ones that UFC came out of. They were like no fucking rules. I think maybe like no eye gouging, but I believe you could punch somebody in the balls. You could kick them when they were down. It was kind of like watching a bar fight between two like Olympic level athletes.
I'll
never forget that time that fucking guy, this black dude got this white guy somehow like this. Like Jesus on the cross. And he was up here and the guy's head's here and he started pulling him in, doing elbows. He was like an accordion going, wagash, wagash, wagash. And the first three, the guy's like this. And then he just started like classic. My only problem with MMA is you take about 63 more shots after you got fucking knocked out. It's unbelievable how much punishment. Because it's like in boxing, if the guy goes down, you're like, okay, no, done. But with them, you can still go.
Yeah.
You can still just keep hitting and hitting. And they're so fucking fast that even the best reps, I know it's not 60, but they get at least 3 more in.
Dude, that guy, Derek Lewis, one of the biggest knockout guys, he knocked the guy out cold. And then 2 of the biggest punches while he was sleeping and his head went off and it was nuts. But I got to tell you something. I shit on the UFC. And I used to call you going, what the fuck? These guys are barefoot. Want to put socks on. This is stupid. I like boxing. And you know what? Boxing.
They were laying around. You thought they were in the missionary position. It made you uncomfortable.
Well, you know what? I mean,
you have to understand the sport before you can see 2 shirtless guys in that position. It's a little shocking at first.
It's beaten.
Once you realize they're trying to kill each other, I think everything's cool.
No, listen, I was just one of these, I was one of these Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, even Tyson. I like boxing at its best. But it's every fucking 18 months, if that. So Dana White and them, they did it. Then you got this Amanda Nunes, who's like,
oh, she's amazing.
She's the co-main. So you got 2 of this Saturday night is nuts. And she's fighting a big big woman who hits and kicks hard, but I still think Nunes gets in like Tyson used to and puts her to sleep.
You know what's nuts about fighting, though, is no matter how good you are, if you do it long enough, somebody's going to be, because it's that age thing too. Somebody is going to beat you. And if you're the best, everybody's looking at you to figure out how, everybody's breaking down your style, sharing notes, seeing, okay, well, this person made it at least to the second round. This person made it to the third round. They gradually, like a pack of dogs, just run you down. And I just can't imagine being like a champion, because everybody wants to leave undefeated, right? But then you love doing it. Yeah. You love the money. And you're like, I would be thinking early on, I just don't want to be that guy who thinks he has one more in him.
Yeah.
And then my jaw gets spun around my fucking head. Like, I don't want that to happen, but it's like, it's really hard to avoid.
Unfortunately, that happened to Roy, who was one of my favorites. That's why, me and Mike Vecchione, shout out to funny comedian Mike Vecchione. He said what I said. It's like, say what you want about how boring Mayweather's fights were, man. Like that guy getting out 50-0, and he had like 5 or 6 really big challenges on there.
Out of the 44, yeah.
What's that?
Out of the 44, yeah. My thing is just like, I don't know enough about boxing or anything like that, but what I don't like about boxing, and I'm not talking about Floyd here, I'm just talking about in general how ever since I was a kid, if you were the champ and didn't want to fight somebody, you could like avoid.
Yeah.
You could avoid them. And I think that really hurt the sport. And what helps the UFC is that it is a monopoly. So you don't really have a choice. So when they say you're fighting this guy, you have to fight this guy, has been great as far as like a fan. But I'm not shitting on Floyd because I think slipping a punch to me is more fascinating than to be able to knock somebody out, which is still cool. But like I've always said, dude, you could tell me in 3 weeks at this time, I'm throwing this punch and you'd still catch me. My instinct is I go into it. Or I watch it come in. I can't slip a punch to save my fucking life. People are like, you look here. And I go, fucking head knocked back.
Giannis Pappas, shout out to Giannis Pappas. Hilarious. He had one of the greatest analogies ever. He said Floyd Mayweather's neck roll or shoulder roll to slip the punch was like Mariano's cutter. And I was like, he's going to do it. And I was just like, oh my, right. It's like Mariano guys were like, I know it's coming. Then the guy would saw off your fucking bat. I gotta tell you,
I just wish he fought Pacquiao like 10 years earlier, but
100%,
but I understand why he didn't, because, I don't, that shit where a guy keeps moving up in weight class and keeps getting stronger.
You mean when he turned into fucking He-Man and started fucking destroying people and wouldn't take a blood test? Like, that's the only thing. It's like, take the blood test.
Yeah. So I wasn't too upset. I was upset as a fan that I didn't get to see the real them, the young them, the real them fighting, but I don't blame him for that. So I should shut up.
Dude, I got one for you. Stacy met me. How cool is my wife? On my birthday, I was doing a festival in Vegas. She goes, we're going to stay. She was going to stay for your birthday because she knows I like a little action, right? So she fucking shows up. I'm at like the old Stardust before they fucking demolished it. And she goes, I'm taking you for 5 extra days for your birthday to Mandalay Bay.
You went to Stardust? That's fucking cool, man.
That was when I drove to Chicago for an audition and I got it and they flew me out and I'm doing this Vegas festival, which was kind of new. One of the greatest things I ever saw was Pat Cooper shitting on the whole thing. Pat Cooper came out. He shit on the whole thing. The people that ran it, shit on the other It was literally like.
You worked with Pat Cooper at the Stardust.
He closed the ceremony of the festival. He was on the thing and he's talking about, you don't serve food during this. Who does this? And they're telling me this guy's on his way up. In my opinion, he should be on his way to fuck out with those impressions. We've heard them for, dude. People were sitting there. I've never seen anything like, I'm not even joking. I never seen anything like.
They were laughing.
It was laughing and like, I can't believe this. This guy's wearing cowboy boots. He fucking runs this place. He smells like horse shit back there. It's just so dumb. You don't bring steak out while people are on stage trying to perform. Dude, it was me and Stacy. And anyway, Stacy comes out. She takes me to Mandalay Bay and it's Roy Jones Tarver won. And this is when Roy came down in weight. And he came in, the fighters come in on Wednesday and Thursday for the Saturday. And they're fighting at Mandalay where Stacy's got me staying. And we're walking through the fucking casino. But I think I told you, so we're walking through the casino and I see Winky Wright. Remember Winky Wright? He was a great defensive fighter. I see him in this like mint green velour suit playing dice. And I'm just walking. And I swear to God, I see Roy Jones Jr. at a craps table with his bodyguard behind him, a woman next to him, and the spot next to her is open. And I look at Stacy and I go, I'm throwing dice right now with this kid. So I walk over. I swear to God, this is a true story. It's the best. It's one of my favorites, but I feel like a dick because of what I did. So Roy's, and I noticed, and everybody could notice, his face was sunken in a little bit because with the weight he had to lose, he lost muscle. And I remember him being taller than I thought he was. They say like 5'11" and 5. He's like 6 feet, but he was just sunken in a little bit. He was really lean, but he didn't look good. And he's a world-class athlete, but he didn't look like Roy. And the point is, to me, for people that don't know craps, when the game is on, when the disc flips on, okay, you got to get whatever the point is. So the number was a 4. The point was a 4, and now the game is on. For craps players, it means just a 7 can't come out before a 4 does. And it's my fucking turn. Okay. And I'm next to him right there. And I go, all right. And I throw, I go, give me whatever, dollar on a hard 4. Hard 4 means 2 2s. Dollar on a hard 4, everything. He's there. He goes, me too. He puts it on a hard 4. I take the dice and I go, let's get this money. And I roll it, hand to God, 2 2s hit. The place goes nuts. And this fucking dude puts his fist out to me like this. It looked like a cinder block. It looked like this to me, right?
Wow.
And I didn't know what to do. And then I ended up giving some awkward, some awkward, because I was just
no.
I mean, I did it, but at first I went in what do I do? And he fucking looked and he smiled and I saw the money that I made him. And then I tell Stacy, we're staying for the fight. Let's try to stay for the fight. And then we couldn't. We couldn't stay for the fight, but I hit the hard 4 and I called it with him and he bet it with me. How cool is that?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Amazing. I used to play craps. I already forget. So if they roll a 4, that 4 is the point. 7 or 11 wins on the first roll.
Yeah, so the first 11 and you hit the pass line, But then if somebody throws a 9, it gets flipped on and everybody wants a 9 before a 7 hits.
You got to wait till they throw a 9?
Yeah, because that's the point. So now the game is on. 9 has to come.
I thought on the first roll, if you didn't roll a 7 or 11, whatever you rolled, that was the point.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, I thought you said they had to throw a 9 before it was a point.
No. 7-11 just wins when it's off.
No, I thought you said you were okay, Spider.
No, you're not okay, you stuttering prick.
That's a good Pesci.
He goes, what's the
family? A bunch of rats.
Except the fucking first hole I dug.
Nice fucking game. Game.
So me and Stace are on the mend, dude. So, and my wife's been coming down watching the UFC fights with me. She went from being grossed out to it to being like, this guy's going to lose. I could tell. She's like, yeah. She's into it. She tries to stay up. She'll have a glass of wine. She'll watch the fights. But dude, that's what Dana White and them did. They made Saturday nights now a thing.
Dude, my wife loses her mind when we rent that thing. Not now. We likes got the it. Kids. Dude, she is up off the couch yelling knees, oh my God, what the fuck's it? I forget. He used to walk in like a fucking spider. Anderson Silva.
Yep.
Dude, when he fucking had the compound fracture on his leg, I was just like that.
Dude, when his leg was just hanging.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, horrible, right? Dude, she was sitting there right up watching it. It fascinates her, watching the replay and shit.
Watching a guy
they just did on SNL where they say talking about women being up late watching murder shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that. And she told me, she said, I do it because it actually made sense in a way. It's just we're women. So something shit can happen to us. So you watch it and you try and think what I would have done. That's what she said. I was just you
You
know.
want to know what's funny about that? My neighbor sent me that SNL sketch and said, I thought of you because that's what I do. I watch Murder All Night Long. I do it. I got a thing in my act where I said I'm watching it so much that now I'm like pointing out what he's doing wrong. Like when I'm like, dude, they're going to see the tire tracks in the mud. Like I know all the DNA, all the
You know,
shit.
the first 48 was like that.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the first 48
Yes.
and I said to Club Soda Kenny, I go, these fucking guys are so stupid. All you got to do when you get in there is say, am I being charged with anything? If I'm not, I'm leaving. If I am, I'm getting a lawyer. And he was like, that's why I hate that show. He goes, it teaches dirtbags how to get away with shit. And he also was saying how, like, I don't want to say all the shit that he was saying, but just say the way we would watch a stand-up act and say he should put a tag there or whatever. He can break down the interrogation. It was really fascinating.
That's funny. Yeah. You know
No,
what?
he was going like, anytime you see a guy, if he's interrogating them and there's a table between himself and the suspect, he doesn't know what he's doing. And I said, why? And he goes, you don't want any barriers that they can hide behind where they can feel comfortable.
Wow.
And he broke the whole thing down. I sat in like 10 different positions. I was like, if I sit like this, he goes, you're guarded. I was like, what about this? And he broke down what level that was. And then he was saying how he would do this thing where when he felt a confession was coming, he would lean forward and have his hands like he would get into a confessional position. And people have a tendency to mirror your body language.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's some guy to admit that finally let up that he did it,
Excuse
so when he
me,
watches that shit, that's like us watching Evening at the Improv going, oh my God, a Jack Nicholson impression? What is this guy doing? Did he know this was on TV?
Excuse me, mister. Do you have a pretzel?
Yeah.
Nobody loved a pretzel in Europe like Club Soda Kenny. It was his favorite thing to do. He would go to the stand that had him and he would just walk around. What kind of train are we taking?
Oh, a choo-choo train, Paul. Hey, oh man, I can't wait to get back out on the road with that guy. He's just the best.
No, he fucking hit me up recently. Like, I love the new podcast. Two of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I talk to him. I don't talk to him as much as I'd like to, but I still talk to him. I don't go more than a week.
He's just, the funny thing is his same expression, even with the funniest thing. I've watched him laugh and I've never seen a drier. It could be so funny or sad. Goes, and his voice
kind of rocks his head. That's how I know how hard I laughed him. How red his face gets and how many times his head rocks back. If it's over 3, I'm like, all right, he's dying laughing. He's a security guy, man. He's stealth. Even when he laughs, he doesn't make any noise, Paul. The man never forgot his training.
And make no mistake about it, Kenny could throw somebody through a fucking glass door. I mean,
I saw Kenny kick a door shut in Budapest. I'll never forget it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There was people coming through. He didn't want through it. He was trying to take a picture. He back kicked it.
I remember
it was funny because it had a window on it. So I saw the person on the other side. Whoever took the picture with me got a great picture. I remember it was snowing out and Kenny's standing there in fucking sneakers. I felt like we were on the fucking Western Front. We're in the middle of fucking Europe. And he's like, not yet, not yet. This fucking guy just kept pushing his way through. And Kenny did, I don't know, some Kempo karate shit from way back in the day in Jersey, some strip mall. He broke that one out.
Yeah. Oh, he's fucking.
Slammed that fucking door shut.
I saw him working out in the gym. Like he's a fucking dude. He's what is he, 6'5"? He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. Fucking Kenny, dude. I missed that guy.
Kenny, how much weight is that? 225, 17, 18. Kenny could pick up the Nautilus equipment. He could work out with that. He could just, whatever you were curling with, he would just. Are you done with that so I can pick it up and do my tries?
I love all he'd want to do. He'd come to smoke at the cigar lounge, but he wouldn't smoke. He would watch James Bond on TV, and you knew he was tired. You'd be like, Kenny, dude, you could go back. Like one night.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. They'd be good. Kenny, you don't have to do this dumb shit. I'm in Prague. Nobody knows me here. Get out of here. No. If anything happened, I'd feel terrible.
All right. This episode is brought to you by
Viore. Whoa.
Whoa. Viore brings you a brand new, fresh perspective on performance apparel. Perfect if you are sick and tired of traditional old workout gear. Everything is designed to work out in, but doesn't look or feel like it. So friggin' comfortable. You want to wear it all the time. And I'm not joking. I actually have my Viore Sunday joggers on right now. I've been in
Paul, you know about comfort.
Oh, listen, I've been in these joggers for 3 days. Okay. I'm not even joking. I picked my daughter up from school in these things. I'm never taking them off. Everything is designed. It's comfortable. It looks good. The word Viore is a Finnish word for mountain. Okay.
That's hilarious. We're singing Italian. How dumb are we?
Yeah. We'd have some weird accent. Viore's performance loungewear inspires the expansive clarity you get from the top of a mountain view. Okay, so
hey, the Finnish people, they defeated the Russians in World War II, but because they were on the Axis side when Hitler lost and Mussolini lost, they were on the losing side, so they had to give up part of their country, even though they won. Go ahead.
Oh, nice.
Viore.
I'm wearing the Sunday joggers right now. I got the maroon. I'm a kid. I don't know if I ever told you this. I'm a kid that loves maroon or burgundy. So I've been wearing the burgundy joggers for a couple of days now. I love the men's core shorts. They're so breathable and comfortable. My wife loves the leggings, the women's daily leggings. Literally, the high waist is stylish and they fit perfectly. Good quality material. She loves them. Their clothes are so versatile. Viore can be worn for just about any activity like running, training, yoga, but also great for lounging or weekend errands. Viore is an investment in your happiness. They really are great, dude. I'm touching them right now as I'm doing this.
Hey, Paul, try to keep it clean and get through the copy, okay?
Oh, sorry. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off the first purchase. Get yourself the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet. Viore.com/better. That is Viore, VUORI, clothing.com/better. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to VioreClothing.com/better and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. And I'm serious. I'm going to keep ordering from them because they are really comfortable and great clothes.
Paul, is there anything better than being comfortable?
No.
Absolutely. All right. Stamps.com, everybody. Hey, let's face it. Taking trips to the post office is probably not how you want to spend your time. That's why I recommend mailing and shipping online at Stamps.com. Stamps.com allows you to mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and pay a lot less with discounted rates from USPS and UPS and MOA. Stamps.com has saved businesses thousands of hours and tons of money. With Stamps.com, you get services. You get the services of the post office and UPS all in one place, plus big discounts on mailing and shipping rates. I used Stamps.com back when I did the road to send out my stupid posters, whatever crap I was selling at the end of my show. Stamps.com didn't judge me. They didn't look at my post and say, what is this shit? They shipped it out. Whether you're a small office sending out invoices or an online seller, shipping out orders, or even a giant warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease, no problem. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple. With Stamps.com, you get discounts of up to 40% off post office rates and up to 62% off of UPS shipping rates. There's no risk. And with my promo code BETTER, B-E-T, our promo code BETTER, B-E-T-T-E-R, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BETTER. That's Stamps.com, promo code BETTER. Dude,
Yeah,
I'll tell you how quick time is going by. I just scared the shit out of myself where, like, I think George Carlin died at 71, and he died in either '07 or '08, and I was 40, 39, 40, and 71 seemed like light years away. And now all of a sudden 13 years goes by. I'm going to be 53 this year.
Yeah.
71 is 18 years away. It's just like, what the fuck just happened? It's really, really scary.
No, dude, my son is getting older, and it's weird because me and you are a generation apart. So a lot of my nerves opening for you helped with so many big, huge fucking gigs young. And I'm going, fuck. And now that I'm headlining, but I still get nervous because I just started selling tickets like a year and a half ago, and it's moving up. But it's like, it's nice when you hear that they're there for you, but you know, on your way
That's
up,
a new kind of nervousness, because now it's like they have
Yes.
expectations.
Yes. That's
And
where
they
I'm
just
at.
saw you special, and now
Yes.
you got your new thing. And is the new thing going to be? That's
That's
why I always make sure where I feel like this is at an acceptable level of funny that I
Yeah.
can now bring this out on the road and not feel like I'm screwing people, because you can't ever screw your fan base. Dude, like, I don't think entertainers, so many of them still don't understand. I saw a couple guys do that, go back out with the same shit, or charge them too much fucking money and their act wasn't ready. And people are like, they're not stupid.
No.
They're like, this
No.
guy just vacuumed $60, $50 out of my fucking pocket.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was all right. You know?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you can't have it. It was all right. But what you just said is where I'm at. Special came out. Now it's like people are going, okay, let me see. Next one's got to be better. Do my manager, who's been in this for a long time, he said something great. He goes, anybody could do one special. He goes, you do comedy for 20 years, 30 years, you do a special. He goes, doing another one. He goes, getting a couple of them out and having them be good is one thing. He goes, you could do comedy your whole career and go, I'm going to put the best of my hour out. He goes, no, doing it again. And I love that. But like, you know, I'm a competitive lunatic. I would never you don't put it out if it's not better than the last. But that's but you gotta, dude, Frank Sinatra said his whole fucking career, he's like, if you're not nervous, something's wrong. As far as like a good nervous, like I'm going to come out here, dude, Tyson used to cry in the locker room, they said, and then turn the cry into a rage, and then just start beating the locker until like a fucking soda can crumbled. And he would just go out there and want to put the guy's face through the back of his skull.
Yeah. I never heard the crying thing. I just heard he was like, felt like scared. And then the walk, by the time he got to the ring, he felt like a god.
Well, I don't know if he always cried, but they showed this one specific incident in the movie where he's just in there and he just starts getting really emotional. And then he just starts teeing off on this locker and then walked out. And I'm just thinking, God be with the guy. God be with the guy who's to do. Could you imagine if Mike Tyson just stared at you?
I got one for you. Top 5 stare down.
Oh,
top 5 stare down guys. You got a Tyson.
Yeah. Tyson for sure. When that one guy was going back and forth and Tyson's eyes just went with them.
Yeah. I brought that up to him on the podcast, and all he did was talk about how cool Peter McNeely was, and that they stuck him in some hospital. McNeely showed up, come on, man, let's go out and go get drunk. And I was just like, that's like the coolest, like you could be looking at a guy like that. And then once it's over, you could just go out and go get beers with the guy. You always hear that about like enforcers and shit in hockey. But top 5, I go Tyson. You know who I loved? Who I fucking loved? Tommy Hitman Hearns. Tommy, because he was so lean. He was like 5'11", 6 feet, but he could make middleweight, which back then was like 155. I mean, the guy was just a rope. And he would stand there. He'd have his trunks pulled way up, and he had the jerry curl and the fucking goatee. And he'd just be looking down, looking down at the guy. What was he? It was the fuck was his nick? It was Hitman Hearns, and he had another one, the Cobra or something like that. It was because he had this fucking right hand. That one he hit fucking Duran with it.
Oh.
And just, he hit him like he was knocked out standing straight up and just fucking, like he hit him, and then one of the color guy goes, that's it. I just fucking, I don't know what, has there ever been a documentary on that middleweight division? Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran.
No, I think there was. I think there was like a 30-30 with one of them, but it showed the whole thing. Wait, you said to Tyson when the guy was going back and forth, you specifically
He's a super humble guy, so he's like, oh yeah, that guy was cool. Like he's like, he's
beyond. He's past it.
Well, I mean, he didn't want to where he is as a person. I just kind of felt like, he's I don't know. I obviously don't know what it's like to exist at his level of fame and power. I think that like he I don't know. I don't know how to verbalize it, but it's just like I can't listen to too much of that because it puts me to a place where I don't want to be. I want to be humble and present, enjoy my kids and my life. Like that's where this guy was at. Like I really, really enjoyed my time on his podcast and dude, only a couple times in my life have I met arguably the best guy to ever do what they do.
Yeah.
I met him. I met Lawrence Taylor one time and just.
Oh, dude. How about that clip I sent you of Taylor as a rookie where John Madden goes, this is the best. I've never seen a guy take a man that's bigger than him and throw him around like that ever in my life. I've never seen, and he did it as a rookie. I've never seen anything like it. I'm not even kidding. I'm not saying it because I'm a Giants fan either.
No, he changed the position. They didn't know what to do. They literally did not know what to do with the guy for the first 5 years of his career. Then they came up with the game plan, I feel, and it still didn't work. They thought that and then all these guys started like, it's amazing once somebody shows you what's possible.
Yeah.
Then you had all these other guys, all of a sudden they're standing up. Dude, linebackers stood here, and then there was the defensive lineman. He came up and he's just standing there. Quarterback's looking up like, the fuck is this guy doing?
No, he was, I've never seen. I got one for you. You're about to fight somebody in the UFC. You got a big main event. You guys get to the whole hotel around the same time, and you and him bump into each other in the elevator. You and the guy that are on the poster. What do you say anything or no? Just you two. See, I'm too nice of a guy. I would be like, hey, dude, man, hope your family. Unless he said shit about if he said some shit about me or my family. But if it was just like a main event and you're in the elevator.
I wouldn't say, I'm not fucking with my money. I'm not going to say anything that's going to make him mad. And then he starts swinging on me. Now we're fighting for free in the elevator. It's like, if you're going to knock me out, I'm going to get paid for it. I'm not going to fucking.
So what are you going to do? You're just going to look at your phone, make like you don't see him?
That's it. Just give him a nod. That's it. I'm not fucking giving you anything. No bulletin board material, and I'm not fighting you for free.
You're so fucking fun. That is such a you thing to. Yeah, I would love to see, because you would be like, yeah, you know me, I would crack. I'd be like, there's a big one tomorrow, huh? I would say I would do something stupid, and then you know what I would do? I would call my 4 friends in life, and I go, dude, do you think I fucked up? Do you think I shouldn't have done that? Right now he thinks I'm weak. That's what would happen if I did that.
I love that you just put me into a headspace that I couldn't even get in one of those rough and rowdy things. I wouldn't even do that.
Oh shit, dude.
I couldn't even win one of those. I'm old, man. I'm fucking old. I'm tired. I'm actually not tired, dude. I've been getting sleep this month. I just decided this month I was going to take care of myself. That's it. Just like, I'm going to get sleep. I'm not smoking sticks. I'm not fucking staying up all night. I'm not going to try to do 1,000 things.
Guess how many sticks I had this year so far? We're in March.
I had a year's worth so far. How many?
I think 3 or 4. I'm just enjoying them when it's time to enjoy them. That's done with doing it in 32-degree weather under my deck, calling friends, shivering. I'm not doing it anymore. I used to do that. I used to be like, hey, what's going on? And like, I would have a Cuban that I just couldn't enjoy.
You always do this to me.
What?
You always do this to me.
What did
you say back to me what I told you? All the way back to when you told me Peyton Manning was better than Tom Brady. And then by fucking 7 years later, like, dude, Tom Brady's the greatest fucking quarterback.
No, I was wrong about that.
I told you from fucking day one, Paul, if I see you smoking one more Cuban cigar behind a fucking dumpster in the goddamn rain.
Well, listen, I never did it in a dump next to a dumpster. I mean, that was a little.
Fucking standing outside, you could see your breath.
Oh yeah, you and Barton.
I used to, dude. I closed with that on that audio that didn't fucking work the first time I did MSG. I know I told that. I have a.
Oh, you told the story about in my garage.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to tell the. I'm going to basically do the. I'm going to tell the story here. So,
All right.
me and Paul do a gig. Have a great time, and then we get some fucking sick bottle of bourbon. Somebody gave it to us or some shit. I can't remember what. And we're driving back to his house because I'm staying at his house. On paper, I'm his kid's godfather, right? Because you never did the Corleone ceremony.
No, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. Was a kid like 26 now? So we're driving there. We got cigars. We got the fucking bourbon and all of that shit. We're so fucking amped up. We're so stupid. It doesn't even dawn on us until we pull up to your house that you're married with 2 kids. Where the hell are we going to drink this and smoke it? And I go, Paul, when are we going to drink and smoke this? And it was the middle of winter. It was like fucking one of those 15-degree. The second you go outside, you just start cursing. Fucking. So you go, oh, don't worry. We will smoke it in my garage. I said, oh, fuck. And I immediately was just picturing this man cave. Because nobody puts their car in the fucking garage anymore. Everybody turns it into another room, right? Leather couches, heat, whatever. And I fucking go into his garage, and it's a garage. There's like old creepy toys hanging. There's just
paint cans. It was just
bags of clothes and shit that you're going to take to Goodwill and shit. And it's like fucking freezing cold in there. And I'm looking at you like, what the fuck? But I don't want to be rude. And the only light in there was from the end of your driveway. There was a street light. It was coming through one of those square windows. So we're sitting in there with bourbon with ice on it. I got my gloves on with a big winter coat, and I'm smoking this fucking thing, stepping in it. And I look over at you, and you just look at me, and you go, doesn't get any better than this. It gets a lot better. We could be inside. There could be heat.
There could be leather chairs and a game on.
The music. There could be a waitress coming over here. It could get a whole lot better than this.
I know. That's me, eating a sandwich, looking at the leaves. I know. It's just, I took the moment, but yeah, it could have been a lot better. It definitely could have been a lot better. But dude, I'm done, man.
A good guy. I can actually feel the sadness that I went there and maybe didn't have the best time I could have had.
Oh,
you're a hell of a host, Paul. You really are.
The thing with me is when you walk into my house, and this is just, and anybody will tell you this, I take pride in this. If you walk into my fucking house, the chances of you not having a glass of something within fucking 30 seconds is just not going to happen. You're going to have fucking cheese. She'll have cheese and salamis up there, and you're going to have a fucking glass of grape juice in your hand before you get up the stairs. And that's just how it's going to be when you come to my fucking house. You're going to have food. You're going to fucking eat a lot. You're going to have a great fucking time. And then we're going to go outside and smoke sticks while they prepare dessert. That's what the fuck is going to happen when you come to the Virzi household, and you're going to leave going, what the fuck just happened? And anything other than that is unacceptable. That's it.
I mean, what do you say to that? I love how you went Trump in the beginning, and anybody will tell you that. The hand goes out. Anybody tell you? You fucking ask. People don't even know me. No, they look at me and be like that. That guy's handing you a glass of wine and some cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, man. They're gonna miss Donnie T in like 3 months. They're gonna miss Trump shit. Even if it's ridiculous, they're gonna go, remember he used to just. I mean, I'm telling you, dude.
I have to tell you, the country is a lot more boring. Or maybe it's because I'm out here in Hollywood and everybody's fucking not in a hissy fit anymore. But like, Jesus Christ, like that guy was. Dude,
you're gonna be like,
he was like a Vegas show that just went 24/7.
Oh, dude, he came out the other day. He goes, and I just might come back and beat him a third time, and the place went nuts. I mean, he's still got it. He's still fucking.
Wait, I might beat who the Democrats?
He came out and spoke. And he goes, and who knows, 2024, I may come back and beat him for the third time. And the place went fuck. I mean, the guy's got gold. I mean, I don't know.
What he should have, dude, can you imagine if he was a boxer? I mean, you would watch every fight he had. He just would know what to say. And you'd either be like, dude, I love this guy, or I want to see him get knocked the fuck out. I mean, he is a promoter's dream. I might just beat him a third time.
He said, who knows, I may come back and beat him a third time, and just stepped back from the
Dude,
podium.
if I was in a movie theater, I'd be like, I'm seeing that movie.
Dude, he stepped
I gotta
back from
see what's gonna happen.
He stepped back from the podium like he released a 3 and knew it was going in before it went. It was, and the place is just going nuts. And then he just did a nod. He just goes like,
one of the most fascinating fucking
of the last 50 years
I've ever, good and bad. I have just mostly bad. I've never seen like that level of that, because I grew up with a few people like that.
Yeah.
That unbelievable, like low self-worth. So you compensate with just your ego through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
That's a torturous way to live.
One of my favorite things about Trump is when you would compliment him, he would go, look at interviews where they compliment him. You compliment him and he would go, he's a good man, you know. he needed that. He's a good man. He knows.
Everybody knows.
And his memory was nuts. Dave Portnoy went to the White House to interview him, which is such a fucking huge get, right? And he's sitting down with him, and Portnoy goes, you remember when Sacha Baron Cohen had Ali G, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
The Ali G show. And he would go in and be like, hear me now. And dude, he sat down with the Secretary of Defense, the Vietnam War. And he goes, he goes, during it, did you ever think about switching sides? And the guy goes, no. He goes, come on. You being a bit.
My favorite Ali G one was when he came in. He had another distinguished panel, and he basically said somebody took a shit in the toilet and didn't flush it, and I don't appreciate that. And the look on his face, he looked so fucking mad.
Oh, yeah, he was, dude.
Oh, dude, I was crying, laughing, watching that. And you just see this guy's just going like, no, I didn't do that. And I don't know why you'd want to bring that up during the interview. He's just like,
dude, he had the Attorney General, and he goes, is there a chance I'm not going to die? And the guy goes, no, you will die, because he's a bit pessimistic.
Yeah.
But he had Trump on, and he as Ali G. And dude, Trump knew in a sec. Trump's looking around and he answers a question and he goes, I want to make he goes, me have an invention. Trump goes, yeah. And he said like an ice cream cone glove. So like when the ice cream cone would drip on the glove, and he's pitching it to Trump, dead serious, straight face. He goes, and then, the kids, they don't need to work. And Trump's just going, all right. He goes, listen, this is over. Listen, he goes, I hope you make a lot of money. And he knew. So Dave Portnoy, fast forward like a year ago, sitting with him, and he goes, you're the only one that knew Ali G. And that's all Dave Portnoy needed to say. And Trump's like, I like it. He remembered. He's good. I like this. He just needs that shit. And listen, I don't mind if Biden comes out a little bit, but I want to see the guy. Like, what are they doing with this? Where is this kid?
What?
I want to see more Biden. Like, I want to see him out, doing,
Why?
I don't know. See, during the king, he does all that shit. I want to see the old man. He does the fucking shot. He goes, yeah, come on, man. He's, he's like, walks around eating ice cream, and now he's just.
I don't think he does it. I think Jim Carrey came up with that, didn't he? Or did he do it one time and then Jim exaggerated?
Jim Carrey went like Jim.
Oh.
Jim Carrey went fucking.
I don't know how people have time to keep up with.
No.
All of that shit, because it never ends, man. It's 24-hour fucking news cycle. I don't want to go down that fucking road. All right, whoever's in office, I just hope they do a good job. That's it.
I hear you.
Knowing full well who they all work for.
That's fucking great. Dude, I got one for you, man.
We gonna talk sports at all, dude?
Yeah.
You see the Celtics? You seen the highlights of the Celtics Clippers? I got to see the first half last night. Jaylen Brown and Paul George put on a fucking show, Paul. They just think they couldn't miss. PG-13, as they call them.
How about my Knicks being the 4th seed right now?
You guys got a better record than the Celtics? It wouldn't surprise me, man. We lost like fucking 3 in a row. I felt like 5 out of 7. We went like 7-10 last month.
I can't believe I'm saying this. The New York Knicks are 2nd in the NBA defensive efficiency. Number 1, I believe, in block shots. We're 4th seed
You
right now.
sound like a fucking community college trying to figure out what you're fucking number 1 in.
Hey, man, listen, we gotta.
I think we say number 2 in the East.
No,
Or number 2 in the amount of towels used during the course of the game.
No, we're number 4 in the East. We're number 4 in the East. We're 500 going into the All-Star break. We're going to beat the Pistons tomorrow to be above 500 for the first time in fucking however.
I thought you were going to go fucking Howard Dean. We're going to beat Detroit, and then we're going to Sacramento to beat the Kings. Ah!
You guys are 6th.
What's that?
You're 6th.
We're 6th?
Yeah, Celtics are 4th. Celtics are 18-17. Raptors are 17-17. Knicks
We have 18, right? We have 18.
People are seeing right now is a diehard. Look at the look on his face. That is a diehard Knicks fan.
No. But Andrew, we have 18 as well as the Celtics, correct?
Yeah, but you got one more loss than us.
Okay, that was because of last night. All right, we beat them tomorrow. We'll be back. We're back. It's all right. It's one game. I mean, what do we? You acted like that happened. Yeah. All right, that happened last night. What are you gonna do? Fucking shout out to Andrew Themeles on the other side of this thing. Fucking being a Boston guy, had to fucking.
You got 2 Celtics fans, Paul. You got to know what arena you're walking into here. I wasn't giving you shit. I was happy for you, but
if our producer was
the stats, Paul. The stats don't lie.
If he was from New York, he would have never fucking jumped up. It's actually 6th. You guys lost yesterday. I mean, what the fuck, Andrew?
Hey, Paul, you know it. Everybody knows it. You guys, you're the 6th ranked in the
Some
East.
fucking asshole comes on and goes, "Hey, Paul, just so you know, the Knicks did this recently to you guys. Okay, your record at so-and-so, so don't get..." And it's like, listen, can I fucking have something with the Knicks? Can I have something? It's March. I'm watching fucking basketball that matters. All right. We have a good defense, a new coach. We have an all-star. And so can I fucking have it? I'm a diehard fan. Why? Because I'm not a fucking rat who went to the fucking Nets. That guy's not from fucking Jersey or whoever the fuck. He's not. Most of these people are not from Jersey, So
Brooklyn Net fans? How does that work? Because I was trying to picture if Massachusetts suddenly had an NBA team in Worcester or Springfield, the place where they invented basketball. I don't see all these Celtics fans being like, "Oh, Springfield." It's Springfield.
Yeah. No, what happened?
We go hard.
Yeah. What happened was a bunch of New Yorkers were tired of the Knicks shit. Brooklyn came in playing Biggie at their fucking halftime show, and they had cool colors, and everybody's like, "Oh, Brooklyn is cool and trendy. Let's do that." It's I can't get down with it. I'm not behind it. I think it's a disgrace.
I got to tell you, Paul, they got to win one. They got to win one soon, because the fact, well, I mean, it's not that big a deal. You guys have like fucking 2 teams in every sport there anyways.
Bill, do you remember the bliss that you had? Do you remember the bliss that you had when you guys won the World Series in 2004 as a Red Sox fan? Do you remember what you must have felt then? That's what me and Lucas and Jerry Ferrara and Sam Morril.
Kind of faded because we won 3 more times, but I'm trying to remember. It's like the Patriots. You remember the first one? And they all just kind of blur together after a while, Paul.
All right. Well,
when you only have 4 teams, but despite that, you go out and win 12 championships over 20 years. It just seemed like one long parade, Paul.
Hey, well, listen though, I got my 3. That's not fair.
Huh?
I've never changed who I liked, man, since I was a kid. I have my 3 teams. You know that. I don't do that.
So I'm not saying you do, but a lot of New Yorkers do. You guys just kind of go with the day, and Yankees,
it's a fucking sin.
Yankees, Mets, Knicks, Nets, fucking Giants, Jets. You don't give a whoever's doing well.
And it's like,
what on the back of that sports page? That's
what
who
did
your new girlfriend are. You guys are all a bunch of fucking rats down there.
Oh, get out of here. But you know what?
I'm fucking with you.
It's like, how come you don't does anybody love their grandparents? It's like, who did grandpa like? You know what? I used to go in my grandmother's basement, my yaya, Andrew. I used to go in my yaya's basement, and there would be all these little Yankee things. And your grandfather.
Yaya? That's grandma?
Yaya is grandma in Greek. And
that's what little Kim called her pussy.
Rest her soul, Jesus. Did it?
Oh, that's the Il Nana.
Nana was the puss, yeah.
Is the puss. Yaya's the grandmother.
There's different ways to say it. Like your ya is
yeah. Jesus.
Yaya with the Il Nana. Grandpa loved it.
Oh,
This isn't a podcast anymore. What are we doing here?
rest her soul. She lived to 99, but
Here's something as an outsider. When I came to New York, you could pick a Giants Yankees fan and a Mets Jets fan out of a fucking crowd. Rarely did you meet a Yankees Jets or a Mets Giants. It was pretty much Yankees Giants, Jets Mets, and you could just see. You saw it in the shoulders. You either saw pride or you saw defeat. You could just see it. You're just like, that guy, oh, that poor bastard. He's out in Shea, and then he's going over to the Meadowlands to watch his Jets play in Giants Stadium. And then, like, Yankees and Giants fans just look like winners. They look like somebody you wanted to get in business with. It looked like it was going to happen. And everybody else, Jets and Mets fans, look like Pacino and Donnie Brasco. Just
you want
fucking old
laugh?
shoes and the fucked up hat.
Dude, I had a friend who got tickets to a Met game against the Padres at Shea. He goes, come on, Paul, man. I know you're not. Just come. I got a ticket. And I walked in and I did the sign of the cross and I told my grandfather to forgive me when I walked in.
Yeah, but you didn't pay for it. Plus, you're going to see him. National League Baseball is fun to watch.
You know what, dude? I saw a fat Tony Gwynn, rest his soul, up at the plate one of his last years in the league. And he had an 0-2 count. And he was just big and out of shape, and 0-2 count like nothing, just slapped the double, and he could barely run. So it was like a stand-up double. Anyone else would have got a triple. He hit it in the gap, and I was just 0-2 like it was nothing. I mean, that guy was – so that was one cool memory.
I thought you were going to say he was then, 3 more pitches. It was a full count. I used to love watching guys like him, Pete Rose, Tony Gwynn, just working a count. Wade Boggs.
Yeah.
Rod Carew. George Brett. I just wish, for all this fucking, chicks dig the long ball and everything, I miss those high average guys. Every couple of years, there was somebody hitting 370, 380.
Yeah.
And somebody just have a crazy, like Bill Matlock one year had some crazy year for the Pirates where I think he won the National League batting title. One of the coolest things I ever saw, if you're like a silver slugger, I think that's the trophy. You get the silver bat. And I remember Rod Carew was in when he was with the Angels. And he had the red gloves, he do a little thing, and he had 7 of those. He was sitting in his house.
Isn't it 2 bats? Isn't it 2 bats like this?
Is that what it is? I thought
Andrew, can you get that picture of the Silver Slugger Award and see what it looks like?
Or is it the thing when you won the title, the batting title? I don't know what it was, but it was just a big silver bat.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And dude, he was just standing next to him, and it was like, oh, yeah, it's a big silver bat.
That's a Silver Slugger?
Yeah. So he had like 7 of those. And I have to be honest with you, the two, like, listening to people talking about home runs, hitters that hit home runs, is not as cool. I like listening to, like, people talking about, like, Ichiro was like the last guy.
Oh, what is that?
That's the Louisville Slugger sign.
That's just the logo that you're thinking of.
Yeah, the Louisville Slugger logo.
Oh, okay.
So I love listening to those guys talking about, hitting. I met this guy one time. He played for the Giants, and he had a real high average against Tim Wakefield, who was a knuckleball pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, so why were you able to hit him and nobody else really had success against the nut? Because it's so erratic. He goes, people overthought it. He goes, I just looked at the tape, and his ball would either go or. So I would just guess. It's either going here or there. And he would just swing his bat.
Oh, that's cool.
But the thing that was great is he blocked out all that, what the fucking fuck is this thing?
Yeah.
And he just swung in the 2 places that it landed the most. And, you hit 3 out of 10, you're fucking killing a guy, right? And that's what this guy did.
He just waited for the location.
Oh, dude, it was one of the great after shows. The guy came out, and he was just talking about just hitting. I got to talk to Pete Rose. One time he was doing a signing at Caesar's Palace.
Oh, that's a great one.
So they had 2 pictures of him. The Reds, the Big Red Machine won the World Series back-to-back, 75, 76. In 75, they beat the Red Sox. In 76, they beat the Yankees. So they had two pictures of him, both times sliding head first into third base. Each year, no helmet. Helmet, on the other side of second base because it'd always come off when he ran around second base. Charlie Hustle, right? So I had him right on the first one because it was against the Red Sox. I write, can you write, Bill, I'm sorry, Pete Rose. And I said, can you write, Bill, I'm sorry. And he just fucking looked at me. He goes, I'm not. I go, you're going to get the joke. You're going to get the joke. I loved it. He couldn't shut it off, right? He's like, I'm not sorry. Like, he writes it. And then I go, now can you write, Bill, you're welcome. And then he laughed. He got it.
Oh, that's great.
I just love that he said, I'm not sorry. That's like the dad that won't let his kid win.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to beat me the day you beat me.
Yeah. That's
like, I'm not going to go fucking nicey nice here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I won a World Series. You're going to put me in a position I got to say I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I got 4,000 fucking hits.
I agree with you about the hits. I'd rather talk about a guy who could steal bases, like watching Ricky Henderson like go from fucking first to third just on stolen bases, and you knew he was doing it, but he was that good at the art of leading off and making the pitcher guess. That's like, for me, dude. Like, I love shit like that. I love robbed home runs. A guy would just go over the wall and take a home run.
Minnesota, that center fielder used to do it all the time in the 2000s.
Oh, Torrey Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I saw at Fenway a long time ago, I saw Ricky Henderson when he played on the Yankees.
Yeah, 24.
Still like in the prime of his career, when the Yankees usually buy a guy, Paul. Why can't you be like the Red Sox and just have homegrown talent? Anyways,
manager was Lou Piniella.
You should have jumped all over me on that one.
No, I heard you.
We're more the Yankees than you guys have been for a while.
Dude, do you play sports, dude? Because something happened that made me sad this week. I had on Facebook, sometimes there's a memory. There's it's like a memory 4 years ago. And Good Morning Football asked me to host something from the West Fourth Cage, where all of the people, Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, Kyle, and Peter Schrager were going to eat pizza at Joe's and like kind of do like this whole New York thing. And they wanted me to host it. And I went in, and dude, Nate Burleson was like balling. And when he's a fucking guy, could have played like in the NBA, and he's a great wide receiver in the NFL. And Schrager goes, dude, throw a pass to Nate. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm in the cage, and Nate runs, and I throw him a pass, and you could see it. And it was a perfect spiral. You know what I mean? But it was a little.
It goes without saying. You wouldn't be telling the story if it wasn't.
But it was a little low. No, it was a little low, and like it caught him like here, like he got it, and he walked back, and he goes, "Good throw." And I goes a little. He goes, "That could have been a little higher. That's a good throw though." And I'm like, so it bugged me. So I put that out, and then somebody that I grew up with goes, "Hey man, he should have saw you when like you were younger, because I had a good arm when I was fucking younger." And
you had a great arm.
And it made me just feel bad. It made me feel like, did I not like exercise my like sports thing? But I moved a lot, so I drank and wanted to be like have friends, and you know what I mean, and meet girls. And like I feel like I could have maybe. I mean, listen, I'm 5'8". Where am I going? But I feel like I wanted to do something more with it. It made me feel like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, did I miss out on like being an athlete because I was a fucking?
Well, you did have a relative that is in the Redskins Hall of Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Vincent Permuto, man. He played 2 years. He was a 2-time All-Star. He played a couple years under Lombardi. He's 80-something years old in Florida, and he is, he's like
I was gonna say he played more than 2 years if he's in the Ring of Honor.
No, he played 2 years with Lombardi, I think.
Wow.
But he was there from I think like 52 or 50-something to 61.
What the hell's going on out there?
Yeah.
Grab. Nobody tackle him.
Oh, he was fun. And he was a Giant coach before he was. Vince Lombardi was a Giant coach before a Giant coach.
Tom Landry. That was your offensive and defensive coordinators when you played the greatest game ever. And was that 58 or 58? You lost against the Colts in Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Colts went back to back. Who did Johnny Unitas start with?
The Colts, right?
No.
The Rams?
Steelers traded him to get fucking Bobby Lane. Bobby Lane, who won 2 titles with the Lions. Lions won 3 titles. think 54, 55, or 53, 54, and like 57. But 57, he was already on Pittsburgh. I think he was gone. Don't ask me why I know that, Paul. I don't have a life.
I was gonna say, how the fuck do you know that?
Because I don't know. I just thought it was weird that the NFL ignores pre-Super Bowls, and all these guys went out there and fucking slammed into each other, and I should know who they are.
Bill, who was the Raiders quarterback in 1971?
71, probably still George Blanda before Ken Stabler came in. And who did Ken Stabler follow at Alabama?
I don't know, man. I don't
Come
know.
on, you're a New Yorker. One of the great New Yorkers.
Who did he follow?
Who's the greatest New York quarterback as far as like superstar?
Was it Namath?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Alabama
Giants.
with Bear Bryant. He went from Joe Namath to Ken Stabler. Well, there might have been a little gap and then Ken Stabler.
Can I do a couple of these? Can I do a couple of these with you just to show? Guys, when me and Bill first met, I started just throwing names and years out, and he was fucking hitting me with it. All right, ready? 1974. Who was?
This is my wheelhouse because anything 97 and beyond, I don't know shit.
This is my 1974, the quarterback of the Rams.
74? Wow. God, was it Pat Hayden? Was he there already?
I mean, you're asking me, what the fuck do I know? He's right.
Who is it? Never heard of him. Jimmy Shack.
Jimmy Shack Harris. Never heard of him. The Steelers, you know. How about Arizona? When did Arizona Cardinals get into the league?
They were the St. Louis Cardinals. So they've been in the league. They were one of the original NFL teams.
So when did they go to Arizona?
The 80s.
Oh, okay.
I think. Oh, it was a while ago.
1976.
So you're going to ask me who their quarterback was in 74? It was Jim Hart.
Dude, that's crazy. I have no idea who these people are. 1976. Who was the Cowboys quarterback?
Oh, Roger Staubach. Come on, Paul.
Okay.
I'll do the whole fucking league. I'll do 78. I can do the whole league.
Go for it.
Steve Grogan, Richard Todd, Joe Ferguson. Okay, I said Patriots. Patriots was Steve Grogan. Jets was that Richard Todd? Richard Todd. Buffalo was Joe Ferguson. Giants is hard. I don't quite remember who the fuck. It might have been Phil Simms. I think they just drafted Phil Simms
in 78.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys booed him.
Fucking.
Then it was like Joe Theismann, Jaworski, Terry Bradshaw, Brian Sipe was in Cleveland.
Dolphins.
Bob Greasy. Bengals was Kenny Anderson. Where do we go from there? Green Bay was Lynn Dickey. Detroit, I think, was Eric Hipple. The Bears, Bob Avellini, maybe? Jim Hart was in St. Louis. Dan Pastorini was in fucking Houston. I'm smiling because it was so much fun watching these guys.
Was Montana there yet?
I think he was still at Stanford. You might have been Steve DeBerg with an old O.J. Simpson.
I remember
Bill Walsh came in to prove Paul Brown wrong, which he did. Paul Brown, he was under Paul Brown, Don Coryell, I believe. That was the coaching tree. Don Coryell and Bill Walsh were under Paul Brown at the Bengals. And Paul Brown is the original Bill Belichick. All right? And Cleveland was finally forced him out. So then he went down and started the Cincinnati Bengals, which is why their colors look so much like the Browns. It was a vindictive thing that he did. The NFL eventually made him put Bengals on the side of their helmet, that original helmet. And so it came time for well, they drafted some quarterback. I always forget his name. The guy had an unbelievable fucking arm, and he screwed it up, and it was like a rotator cuff, and they didn't know how to fix it, so his arm was weak, and that's how they came up with the West Coast offense. because this guy couldn't throw deep anymore.
Wow.
All right. That's where they came up with it. So Bill Walsh thought, because Bill Walsh said if that guy didn't mess up his arm, everybody would know his name. So he thought he was the next in line to get the hire, and he got passed over like Fredo, and he was devastated. And not only did he get passed over, Paul Brown badmouthed him around the league, said he didn't think he was mentally strong enough, something like that.
Oh,
so
wow.
He left the NFL, went down to Stanford, turned them into a powerhouse, came back, took over the fucking 49ers. And I think in his first or his second draft, he drafted a guy by the name of Joe Montana. 2 years later, they're in the Super Bowl playing the Bengals. And they asked him, they go, hey, considering what Paul Brown did to you, passed over and talked shit about you, is this extra special if you beat these guys? He goes, nah, it's just another game. I can't think like that. I got to focus. First offensive game that they played, he called some classic old school outdated Paul Brown play, like the 23 skidoo, called it on the first play, and then beat the Bengals. And that was his fuck you to Paul Brown.
Oh, that's great.
How great is that?
That's fucking great, dude.
Yeah. Now you ask me why I go back, because that's what I want to hear. Because when you're watching it in regular time, I'm listening to analysts and reporters and all that. And it's just like, I want to hear what the athletes say and the coaches say, because they actually did it, which is what was funny about the Jordan Last Dance, that Peter Virzi guy or whatever going like, oh, I didn't like it because it was all in his words. It's just like, well, finally, it's in his words. It's like, I listen to your words and everybody else who didn't play pro hoop telling me what this guy was. I want to hear his perspective. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know that his perspective and your perspective, somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to lean towards Jordan, is
right. But was Peter Vesey saying that Jordan was not really touching on things that people wanted to hear about because of his favor, because it would be unfavorable to him? Because I heard Grant.
I think he was pissed that he wasn't in it. I don't know the guy, but I just remember seeing like he was a guy that kind of came up. I'm not just saying him, but it was just people in general.
No, Horace Grant said it. Horace Grant goes, yeah, man, people didn't see a lot of the real shit that happened, so I thought it was okay, but I thought more could come out. And it's like, well, Jordan had editing.
That's also Horace, but then if you saw Horace Grant's, it would be his perspective. People, one of the hardest things to have in life is empathy and perspective, because what goes on, but what you look at and then you think is so fucking real. It's big. This between here is bigger than the universe. There's like two universes that people live in, the universe and the one between their ears. And this one seems more fucking vivid. Like, that's why you see all this bullshit online with these fucking people, like an acorn falls and they think the sky's falling because they're fucking.
Yeah. Hey, you remember last week? By the way, I want to tell all the fans here, thank you so much for the reviews on Anything Better and the ratings. Keep doing that. It makes the show move up. We really appreciate all the positive feedback. Get Anything Better where you get all your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. But on the last episode, I said, where are these Italian athletes? And a bunch of people wrote back. So
I love it.
Nick and Joey Bosa, dude. Nick and Joey Bosa, defensive
and they're beasts.
And they're fucking beasts. Like, they get after the quarterback. And then one guy, I forgot his name, but he's a big Italian UFC fighter, but like Italy, like Italian, not like me, fucking
Italian, yeah.
And he's just, I don't know how he's Italian, because he's like 6'3", and he's got the fucking Italian flag shorts. It says UFC. He's fucking huge. He's got this big thing, and I'm like, fuck, man. So
you should have a room in your house. That's old school Italian American. Well, I guess Italian, if you're gonna have an actually Italian athletes.
I got one for you. I was at a golf course, and guess who was on the Italian American Hall of Fame wall at this golf course? Old fucking flabby tits, Phil Mickelson.
No way.
Phil Mickelson his mother's Italian.
All right, I got one.
His tits aren't flabby
biggest
anymore.
Jewish athlete right now.
What's that?
Biggest Jewish athlete right now.
Here's a leaflet on Jewish athletes. That was
dude. Back in the day, dude, they had boxers, dude. Koufax. Sandy Koufax did this. Pete Rose said, "I go, who's a tough the toughest guy you ever faced. It was me and Lawhead. We were just like, we couldn't believe it. It's like it was our own personal This Week in Baseball. And we were like, who's the toughest guy you ever faced? And he looks at us, looking at us like we're probably just a couple of jerk offs. So he just goes, who do you think? He's like testing us. And I was like, I said, Bob Gibson. He's like, nope. Lawhead was like, Don Drysdale. He's like, nope. We were naming all these guys. We just couldn't get him. And he goes, Sandy Koufax. We were like, really? And he did this. He goes, like both sides of the plate, just didn't, because he was a switch hitter. I took as it didn't make a difference
which side
he batted from. He could make it be right there and then break off on the opposite side. So I just Edelman, Julian Edelman.
Yeah, I just said that from the movie Airplane. Remember, she goes, would you like some reading material? She says, do you have anything light? She goes, here's a leaflet on famous Jewish sports heroes, sports legends. I heard Koufax was an absolute animal. Julian Edelman, and who else?
I heard a story in like '88 before the fucking World Series. They brought him in for morale, and he was throwing batting practice. And they said, Sandy, can you slow it down? You're getting into these guys. He was throwing to the Dodgers, and he was still throwing gas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, our boy Brent Barry, this fucking guy, remember?
Yeah.
Brent, talk about people that come to shows. He was so cool. The worst thing, the funniest thing was Brent Barry was at our show in Memphis. Okay. He was calling the game in Memphis. He comes to our show and he comes up to me and he goes, hey man, I'm Brent. I'm like, I know who you are. And he said the same thing to Lawhead. Yeah, I know who you are. And we're so enamored with talking to this fucking guy who won the dunk contest and he's all this stuff. And fans were coming up going, hey, nice show. Can you sign this? And we were borderline rude. Okay, what's your name? Like, what's your name? I'm talking to Brent Barry here. And Brent Barry came back on the bus and he was so nice and cool and everything. And I'm listening to the game last night. Knicks were playing the Spurs. Brent Barry is the new president of basketball operations, I believe, for the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, is that right?
So he got a big executive job with the Spurs.
Good for him. He was a great guy.
Great guy, great big time comedy fan. Dude, you want to talk about like legendary family. His brother was a baller. His father's that guy was really fucking cool, down to earth. And he's
funny because somebody said to him, going, yeah, you won the 2000 whatever. We won the 1990 something dunking contest. He goes, that's right. He says, you're the guy that blah, blah, blah. All I know is his punchline was, and now you're having a beer with him. We all just died laughing because it was sort of like a little bit of shit talk.
No, he was awesome. Like humble, but really, really humble.
Yeah.
So is there anything else on the docket, Andrew?
I think we covered it, dude. I think we covered it. I can't believe I already did 7 episodes. Dude, it's flying by like my life.
Next one is 2 months, and it's not work. It's a fucking joke.
It's a joke.
You know what I mean?
We just turned our phone conversations into a show, Paul.
What are we doing?
America.
We're talking about sports, Italian food, fucking fights with our wives. What do we give a fuck?
The jewel of this podcast was nobody who listens to this podcast does not want to go over to the Virzi's house at this point.
No, because listen, I just enjoy life because I know we're all going down and that's what it is. So, I go full, dude. I go fucking full.
I just loved how you were saying all this wonderful stuff you do to somebody, but you almost sounded like angry. You come to my house, you're going to be a fucking glass of grape juice. There's going to be cheese and cracks. It's just what the fuck it is. You were saying it almost like someone would complain. It's just like, no, Paul, that sounds like a wonderful host. I'm not trying to.
Hey, what a host. What a host.
Thank you for having me. Oh, we brought a bottle of wine. I hoping you saw that. What, you think I got fucking wine here?
You know what we have to do?
I got like 20 bottles of those fucking things. I can get my wife bring it up here in 2 seconds.
You, me, Bartnick, Themeles. We have to just sit down. We have to say, fuck not drinking one night. We got to get bottles of bourbon, the Hoyos or the Partagas, whichever your preference. We got to get
want a real one, Paul. I'm really turned off by the. I know a real Cuban. If you look at the band, you do that. No, when you light it, you say, "Oh my God," every time.
We did that in Montreal. I thought the ones in Montreal were real at the place.
We're not in Montreal. How you can drive up, Paul?
4 hours. No, we could get them shipped from there.
All right. I don't know if I ever told this story, but it's still one of my favorite Virzi stories. We were doing the Cape Cod Melody Tent down in Cape Cod, literally the name of the place where it's at. And Paul was pulling up to the venue, so I gave the security guy his number because he was looking for Paul, so he could come in and park. And no, he was talking to me. I go, yeah, Paul, the security guy just needs to know, what you're driving so he can let you in. I go, what are you driving? And you go, I am driving a beautiful 2011 Burgundy.
No.
You sounded like it sounded like you were reading it out of the want ads.
Oh, I think, I'm driving a beautiful gray 2012 Nissan Maxima. I think
I am driving a beautiful 2012 gray Nissan Maxima, leather seats. I just started. What's funny about you is I started laughing halfway through it, and then you just started cracking up. I was like, all right, man, I'll see you in a second. He's driving a beautiful 2012.
Are you? You know what?
Your voice got all calm too. You like, where is this venue? I can't find it. The guy's gonna let you in, Paul. What are you driving? I am driving a beautiful 2012.
You know what? You talk shit, but you enjoy the finer things too. I've seen it. I've said you're the most Italian. Make no mistake, guys, listening to this. This kid, if you think you know Bill, this guy is so fucking. I've never seen a German Irish kid act more Sicilian. The food in the restaurants, your taste for food is very.
Maybe we're more similar than the powers that be want us to admit.
People.
Yeah, like that whole Sicilians never forget. The Irish don't, Scottish people, English people.
Yeah, but we'll make it disappear, okay? No, I'm kidding. I just, no.
I'm not saying some people aren't better at it.
I love that Richard Pryor joke. He goes, the Italians, man. He goes, they just figured it out. He's like, you like walking? He goes, you like your legs? You like walking? Remember?
Yeah.
He was just talking about how their business plan is like, if you like walking, that's going to happen. You're going to get that done.
I love that thing.
Oh my God!
What's going to shoot us?
Because I came in with a gun, the Italian guy started laughing. That's man. You are
Strip.
You like the finer things too. I just listen. If there's a God and I could make millions, if I make millions and millions of dollars, you're going to see it spent like nobody's ever spent it before. I promise.
Dude, I cannot wait. It's gonna happen. You're a fucking beast. That it's gonna happen. You put your time in. You did all the fucking gigs. You worked. You got better. It's gonna happen.
Bill, I'm gonna fucking buy a horse.
Happy for you because I love you, but it's also gonna be. I cannot wait to see you with money.
I told Stacy we're gonna. Dude, I said to Stacy, I go, let's buy a horse. She said, where the fuck are we gonna put a horse? And I replied, we'll figure it out. That's who the fuck she's dealing with.
To ride or to race?
No, to have.
You have it walking around.
Yeah, to have. What do you mean to ride? To have a horse. I live on farm. There's people have horses out here.
Do you know how to ride a horse?
I mean, you fucking get a saddle, you sit on a thing. How long is it going to take to figure that out? All
right, everybody. This has been another wonderful episode.
All right, guys.
I'm just picturing you getting thrown off the back. And your untied Jordans going flying in two different directions. We had to get rid of it, Bill. You fucking sitting there in like a neck brace. You got to get rid of it. This thing was fucking crazy.
Did you see the Jordan one?
It's like, Bill, I cannot have something that I'm feeding and it's not paying rent. Dude, my mother-in-law was there. I can't have it. I can't have it. What did you do with it? It's not gonna be a problem, Bill. Paul, what did you do with it? I took it to the park. I let it go.
My friend picked it up.
Took it out in the woods.
Did you see the Jordan 1 hockey skates? They made hockey. Andrew, is there any way you could pick that up? They made Jordan 1, the original, the red, the black, the white, and they made a hockey skate. And somebody said, Virzi's all over this because I go ice skating out with my kids. You got to see this thing, man. It's
Dude,
really.
You probably skate better than me. I'm skated in.
I can't go backwards. I can't go backwards, man.
You're too positive, Paul. You're always moving forward. I got to see these things. Paul, you have to go out and get that horse. It's done. Bill, it's handled.
Yeah.
Ah, those are pretty cool, man.
They don't look bad, right?
I like the gray better. You know who first guy who had? I want to say Sergei Fedorov had a pair of those back in the day. That's a little too busy for my taste. I like the gray ones better. I'm more subtle, Paul. You got to say though, I do have a little more class than you. A little class.
You know what? I like.
You talk. Sometimes you talk.
I like Vegas a little more than I should. You don't like.
I was
Vegas.
just fucking with you, but that little half a snarl you just got, you like.
No, because you know, like I'll go to Vegas and be like, let's go throw dice at the Trop, and you'll be like, or we could just go to a nice steak dinner.
Yeah. Instead of throwing a steak dinner on a table, we could actually have a steak.
Let's go look at some nice.
What I don't
cars.
get with craps is anytime it's like, hey, take me down on that 6, and they're like, oh, you're jinxing the shooter. It's like, well, am I supposed to just leave it here until I lose?
And it's a bet option. It's a bet option.
Wait. Here's the thing. When somebody hits the point and everybody wins, does that mean it's over and everybody takes their shit?
Yes. Yes.
It does. Okay, then maybe I was wrong.
So there is the asshole who, when a table is hot on fire and everybody's getting the point, that the one guy comes in and he puts the money that the guy's going to crap out to like the
what
like
is that, the pass or no pass?
I think it's the come line. Or something like that. I don't. There's a million, but no. Pass line is over once the point's out. That's then you're just waiting for the point to come out. You back that bet up. But there is the guy that bets against the table, and people get a little bit like, "Hey, man, we just hit the point 4 times." Everybody's
he's on Twitter every fucking day. Miserable cunt.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the same guy.
Same guy. Same fucking guy. All right. This has been another wonderful. No, that's the wrong podcast. This is.
Well, it has been wonderful.
Because I always end Bill Burt that way. Oh,
well,
keep
this
my
isn't Bill
sanity.
Burt.
I just started podcasts with all my friends during this fucking thing. I love Burt, I love you, and I love talking to myself. I got 3 podcasts. I'll start another one. You think I give a fuck?
I'll fucking do a podcast with every friend every day of the
Right.
week. I'll do a podcast with my new fucking horse. He'll just sit there. You think I give a fuck? Put a microphone in front of him.
Wrap it up, dude. You wrap it up. This is your show here.
Guys, man, this has been another amazing episode of Anything Better with me, Bill Burr, Andrew Themeles, the amazing producer out there. Please, like I said, reviews, ratings, Anything Better, subscribe everywhere you get podcasts. Check out the Virzi Effect, the Monday Morning, all the fucking podcasts we have. Just subscribe to them and check. Oh, I will be, guys, coming up. Thank you for the tickets that are being sold. Orlando Improv on the 24th of March, West Palm Beach Improv on the 25th of March. Get tickets, and all my tour dates of 2021 are on paulvirzi.com. So there you go.